Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new, my name is Lee, aka Rollin Thunder, and today we are going to be discussing the harsh truths of riding a motorcycle in London. So if that is of interest to you and you'd like to know more, sit back, relax, grab yourselves a cup of tea, and without further ado, let us get into the video. So ladies and gents, how are we all doing? I hope you're doing well, and as the title of the video suggests, we are going to be talking about the harsh truths of riding in London on two wheels. Now I feel I'm somewhat uniquely placed to discuss this, as I have been a motorcyclist in central London and surrounding areas for the last 20 years. And it has been brought to my attention that over the last couple of months there's been quite a few motorcycle accidents which have resulted in fatalities. So I thought I would give you guys my insight onto what it's like riding around central London on two wheels, ranging from a 50cc moped all the way up to a 1000cc sports bike. Now, as you guys know, I've had various different sports bikes over the years. I've had Ducatis, Aprilias, Kawasaki's, this Yamaha, and my current 1098. Now, you don't need a 1000cc sports bike to ride around London. You can quite easily get around on a 125 without any issues whatsoever. However, being the sort of person I am, I always want more. Now with that extra power, you need to be a lot more responsible with it. Like Uncle Ben once said, with great power comes great responsibility. I'm probably going to get a copyright infringement for that from Marvel, but never mind. And yeah, there's more than a few things that you can do to give yourself the best fighting chance in terms of if you were to be involved in certain incidences on the road, and be able to keep yourself safe and happy. Now, if you may or may not remember, I did a video not too long ago about skills that all riders, both new and old, should know or should learn to make themselves safe on the road. And if you haven't seen it, I shall put it in a card above so you can go and watch that, because that has significant relevance to what I'm about to say. There are certain things in London that you can't really account for. For example, the road conditions, like that pothole there, for example. That thing has been slowly getting deeper and deeper over the years. What makes it equally dangerous is the fact that it's got a manhole cover right in the middle of it. Now, this video's come about as I've seen a video by a fellow London rider called TK Rides, who is a fellow Big Bang rider and South London boy. So he's just started a new channel, so if you haven't already seen his channel, please feel free to go and have a look. Drop him a sub or a comment or a like, and just generally just give him a bit of support as he is a new channel. Now, with regards to certain things you can't control on London streets, this being one of them, traffic. You can't always control the traffic. Well, you definitely can't control the traffic. And this again goes back to my video where I talk about the skills of looking ahead and being aware of your surroundings. Now at the moment, doing 24 mile an hour, I've got a car in front of me, I've got a car behind me. The lights may change, they might not change, which they haven't, which is great. But it's little things like that that you need to be aware of in terms of what's going on around you. Now, as far as the road conditions go, there's absolutely sweet FA you can do about it, especially when the weather is changeable. So for example, at the moment it's a little bit grey, a little bit overcast, but it's dry. Had it been raining, the conditions would dictate for a different kind of style of riding, which thankfully I don't need to do because it's somewhat dry. And I can take advantage of those conditions. Now, things like that's just happened in front of me. That imbecile on that scooter probably panicked when he saw me coming up behind him and then decided to pull over, which is one, a good thing for me, and two, a good thing for him, because I could do without hitting him up the arse. With regards to the weather conditions as well, ladies and gentlemen, you need to ride to the conditions. You can't go riding hell for leather just because you've got somewhere to be. You know, like this idiot on the push bike that's just gone through the red light in front of us. I've always said And my dear old mum used to always say, it's better to get somewhere late than never. And that's kind of the rule of thumb I've always lived by. I'd rather get to somewhere late than not at all. Because again, with certain elements that you cannot control, you can't control the road conditions, you can't control the weather. Even if you are familiar with the roads you're riding on, you can't always account for, oh, I know this road, I know what's going to happen, because you can't. You've got to have your eyes on springs at all times. You know, I know this road like the back of my hand, and in theory, if I wanted to, I could quite easily throw the bike over, get my knee down, all that kind of stuff, but what's the point? At the end of the day, everyone's got a place to go. You may not all be going in the same direction, but where you can take, not risks, but where you can attempt certain manoeuvres. Like for example, all these cars getting bunched up behind, well, I'd say all these cars, these two cars that are in front of me, they're being held up by this idiot on the push bike ahead of us. And they're too scared to overtake him. Me, on the other hand, I've got absolutely no problem with overtaking a cyclist because they're the bane of my life and I hate them. Not saying all cyclists are bad, but just the odd one or two that think they're clever running through red lights and so on. Like that guy did when we were waiting at the lights earlier on. And they'll be the first ones to complain that they've been hit or knocked off their bikes or been involved in some sort of altercation which has resulted in either injury or some sort of personal claim made against them or even being arrested. But anyway, I digress. Another thing you need to be aware of when it comes to riding around London streets is traffic lights are constantly changing. Sometimes the phasing will be red, amber, green. Sometimes it might be red, flashing amber, green. So you need to be aware of those as well. And just going back to potholes, look at this, one there, both with manhole covers in them. And if nothing else, manhole covers are probably the biggest insult to injury when it comes to motorcycling in terms of your bike's maintenance, because potholes in general are probably the biggest bane of most motorcyclists' issues when it comes to certain maintenance things. I.e., for example, blown fork seals, blown tyres, caliper pad knockback. So in other words, what that means is when you go over these sort of potholes and stuff like that, the pads are knocked back in the caliper and you've got to pump the brake a little bit to make it actually activate properly, because sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And I know this because it happened to me at Brands Hatch. When it comes to filtering as well, that's another big contentious issue that a lot of people think, oh no, well, a lot of car drivers especially think, oh no, it's illegal, you can't do it. When in actual fact, yes you can. In the UK, filtering, like I'm about to show you, is legal. Lane splitting is completely different. Like for example, what I'm about to do here, this is called filtering. If this was on the A3 or any kind of motorway and I was going at 60, 70 mile an hour, that would be deemed lane splitting, which in itself is quite dangerous. For me, I try not to do any lane splitting when I'm on like dual carriageways or motorways, because you don't know what people are doing. You always need to make sure you keep your eyes in your mirrors so you can see what's going on behind you, but likewise, if you make eye contact with the car in front of you through their rear view mirror and they move out your way, then great. If they don't move out your way, however, then you've got to take matters into your own hands like that. Just bear in mind, ladies and gentlemen, that everyone is out to kill you on a motorcycle. Whether they mean to or not is another matter. So just make sure you're safe, make sure you keep your eyes open and watch what's going on around you, because like I said, there's a lot of things that you need to take into consideration. Traffic, pedestrians, roadworks, potholes, manhole covers, the weather. You know, and as we're coming into the colder season now, it's literally the first week of November, this is probably about the best time that people can get out on the road and learn their roadcraft, because if you can ride in the cold and the wet, you will have absolutely no problem with riding in the summer, because you'll have a lot more things in your favour, i.e. the weather will be better, the road conditions will be better. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is where I'm going to leave you. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you guys have been awesome. I have been Lee, aka Rollin Thunder, saying look after yourselves, look after each other, stay safe on the road, be aware of COVID-19, be safe, be happy, and as always, adios.